Hello everyone. Right now we are in part 5 of our presentation on module 2. So we are discussing the transmission media, particularly the gated transmission media. So the discussion on twisted pair and coaxial cable is over. So right now we have the third category and the most predominant gated transmission media, that is a fiber optic cable. So this is a pictorial representation of the cable. So here you can see that inside we have a core. Over that core we have cladding. Then there is an outer jacket. Now inside the core, the basic principle of optical fiber is total internal reflection, and that we will see. So when this with by using some light emitting source, the light will be injected into the core, and that time so this terminology I explained later. We have something called an angle of incidence and angle of reflection, and there is something called the critical angle. So whenever the angle of incidence is greater than a specific angle called the critical angle, the total internal reflection will occur and as a result the light will be traveling through the core in this way. So the certain properties of the core as well as the cladding called refractive index, and that is going to define how the signal is going to be reflected and traveled through the core. Accordingly, we have a single mode fiber, multi-mode fiber cable, and step index and graded index fiber. Okay, those details and classification we will see later. So for the time being, this is how it is looking. So we have a glass or plastic core, and laser or the light emitting diode that will emit the light signal towards the core, and we have a specially designed jacket to protect the cable from the outside disturbances and all, and small size and lightweight that makes it attractive over other types of gated media. So an optical fiber is a means thin, just like our hair, with a 2 to 125 millimeter thickness, flexible medium capable of guiding an optical ray, laser beam. Various glasses and plastics can be used to make optical fibers, and the lowest losses have been obtained using fibers of type of material called ultra pure fused silica, and this is a best material that is available for a fiber optic cable, because it leads it is having the feature it is leads to lowest loss of information, but it is slightly costly. So we have other variations also. So ultra pure fiber is difficult to manufacture, and even though you are trying, it will be costly. So higher loss multi component glass fibers are more economical and still provide almost a good performance. So that is a best choice than the other one. So plastic fiber is also available, is even less costly and can be used for short haul links, that is for short distance communication, which moderately high losses are acceptable. So where moderate, if we are ready to tolerate high losses, that is particularly for this short distance communication, we can make use of plastic fiber. An optical fiber cable has a cylindrical shape that we already seen, and consists of three concentric sections, that is the core, the cladding, and the jacket. If you are looking at the core is the innermost section and consists of one or more very thin strands, or we call them as the fibers, made of glass or plastic material that we already seen. Depending on these the requirement that application is having, the core has a diameter in the range 8 to 50 millimeter. So each fiber is surrounded by its own cladding. Over the core we have this cladding, which is a glass or plastic coating that has optical properties different from those of the core, and mainly that property I already told you, that refractive index, that is going to define how that total internal reflection and the movement of the signal is happening within the core. And the typical diameter of this cladding is 125 millimeter from that focal point. And the interface between the core and the cladding act as a reflector. So the core and the cladding are of different optical properties, right? So when that interface part where both of them are meeting, it is at that point the light is getting reflected. So it acts as a reflector to confine light that would otherwise escape the core. So if that proper reflection is not happening, that will be going out of the core. That should not happen. So we have to control it in such a way that it should reflect internally. The outermost layer surrounding one or a bundle of plated fibers is called the jacket. That is core, cladding, and finally we have the jacket. So the jacket is composed of plastic and other material layered to protect against the problems like moisture, abrasion, crushing, and other environmental dangers. So jacket is going to protect the entire optical fiber. So if you are looking at the features, optical fiber already enjoys considerable use in long distance telecommunication, and it's widely used in and its use in military application is growing day by day. So long distance telecommunication, of course, twisted pair compared to twisted pair, distance wise coaxial cable is better, but this is the ultimate choice. It's a fiber optic that provides a maximum distance communication, and it's the kind of security that is provided by the cable. It is difficult to tap the cable and take the information by an intruder, so it is always preferred for military applications. So the continuing improvements in performance and decline in prices together with the inherent advantages of the optical fiber have made it increasingly attractive for local area networking. So just like I already told you, in local area networking we can either have a twisted pair or coaxial cable or optical fiber. So obviously the reasons why the optical fiber is getting more and more popular in local area network, that is because of its performance. At the same time, day by day they are improving their technology in such a way that the price are getting less and other inherent advantages, and those things we will see. So that make it a best choice for local area network. In the following characteristics distinguish optical fiber from other gated media like twisted pair or coaxial cable. So greater capacity, smaller size and lighter weight, lower attenuation, electromagnetic isolation, and greater repeating spacing. All these terminologies are self-explanatory. Still I given some explanation for each. So greater capacity, of course, potential bandwidth and data rate. If bandwidth is high, accordingly data rate will be high, right? Of optical fiber is immense. Data rates of hundreds of gigabits per second over tens of kilometers have been demonstrated. So see, that means we can expect to have a performance like on the order of gigabits per second with very long distance, say tens of kilometers. So you can compare this to the practical maximum, say hundreds of megabits per second only speed over say 1 kilometer for the coaxial cable, and much lesser for that of a twisted pair. And the second advantage, that is smaller size and lighter weight. Optical fibers are considerably thinner than coaxial cable or bundled twisted pair. So size is normally comparable with the size of a human hair. That means small fibers are what we are using. At least the order of magnitude thinner for comparable performance in comparable information transmission capacity. So if you consider the same amount of information to be transmitted, always the size and weight will be less for fiber optic compared to other two. So reduction in weight reduces structural support requirements also. So when weight is less, accordingly the other structural supportings will also less. That means the overall complexity will be less. So lower attenuation, of course attenuation is significantly lower for optical fiber than the coaxial cable or twisted pair, and is constant over a wide range. So two things, so attenuation will be less and also it will be constant for a wider range, okay, compared to the other two. So optical fiber features, continuing two more features. Electromagnetic isolation. Optical fiber systems are not affected by external electromagnetic fields. This system is not vulnerable to interference, impulse, noise or crosstalk, of course, because if we are having a very good jacket, that will help the signal in such a way that it is not going to be affected by the external disturbances, including noise, crosstalk, etc. So fibers do not radiate energy, so there is a little interference with other equipment, and there is a high degree of security from eavesdropping. So the it is not radiating energy in the sense when someone else is passing near to this fiber optic cable, that possibility of interference is not there. Of course, high degree of security from attacks like eavesdropping. In addition, fiber is inherently difficult to tap, that I already told you. So all these things make it a best choice for military application. So greater repeater spacing, of course, as we already seen, the attenuation is less, means the signal will be traveling for more distance before attenuating. So between two repeater, the length of the cable will be high, or the repeaters can be spaced in relatively good spacing. So fewer repeaters, of course, means more cost. Means lower cost and fewer sources of error. And because at every repeater the signal has to be regenerated, and such complications are there, everything will be less if the number of repeaters are less. So the performance of a optical fiber system from this point of view has been steadily improving, means the people who are working on it are trying their best to make it better day by day, particularly in the repeater spacing. Repeater spacing is typically in a fiber optic, it is in the tens of kilometers. That is common, and the repeater spacing of hundreds of kilometers have been demonstrated. So coaxial and twisted pair systems, so these things are taken from the textbook, so demonstrated in the sense right now it is already there. Okay, so because textbook may be of some older version. Coaxial and twisted pair systems generally have repeaters of very very low kilometers, a few kilometers compared to the optical fiber. So that about the optical major features of optical fiber. 5 features means they may ask you, then you can list down those 5 features and you can brief on that. Now certain application definitely you can apply it anywhere. So just like we saw in coaxial cable and all. So 5 basic categories of application have been important for optical fiber as per William Stallings textbook. They listed 5 main broad applications: the long haul trunks, metropolitan trunks, rural exchange trunks, subscriber loops, and local area networks. We will see one by one. Long haul trunks, of course, for long distance communication. Long haul fiber transmission is increasingly common in telephone network. I already told you, twisted pair. The telephone network started with the twisted pair, and for long distance communication, that twisted pair is getting replaced by coaxial cable. Now it is replaced by optical fiber because of that distance capability is much more compared to the coaxial cable. So long haul routes average about 1500 km in length and offer very high capacity. So that is the distance. It means till that distance you can send the signal without much attenuation problem and all. Okay, so that is a typical coverage. In between repeaters will be there, but in a very long distance gap. So typically 20,000 to 60,000 voice channels can be supported by such. So it's a very big number. Okay, so it's a very good option for telephone. Definitely cost will be high. Undersea optical fiber cables have also enjoyed increasing use. So that is another one. For connectivity between continents and all, we have this undersea optical fiber. As we already know, it is the external disturbances are even not going to affect the fiber in that way it is designed. So it is very good to be used in this direction. So metropolitan trunks, metropolitan trunking circuits have an average length of 12 km compared to the other one, because that is enough. And most facilities are installed in underground conduits and are mostly repeaterless. That means this 12 km typically they are providing without using any repeater. Joining, so what is their role? Joining the telephone exchanges in a metropolitan or city area. And you know, with the exchange, the individual telephones will be connected, and how the exchanges are connected each other within a metropolitan or city area. So we can make use of the optical fiber. So much more length is not required here. So 12 km sufficient. Without any repeater we are providing it. Okay. So including in this category are routes that link long haul microwave facilities that terminate at a city perimeter to the main telephone exchange building. So you can use in this way also within an particular area we are using the microwave to transmit information, and at the perimeter that microwave where that microwave is stopping, further to extend the information to the telephone exchange we can make use of fiber optic cable. So a combination of wireless and wired mode of communication together. And as we know, without wired support, the wireless can't exist. So wireless communication that is happening for some area, but for the overall connectivity in a wide area connectivity, we need the support of wired media also. So typically we will be using optical fiber in that. Then rural exchange trunks. Rural exchange trunks normally 40 to 160 kilometer. So that distance is something based on that the author categorized into different application. So here it is 40 to 160 kilometer link that link the towns and the village. Okay, so that is the agenda we have to link between them. So most of these systems have fewer than 5000 voice channel because it's connectivity to the village area, so the number of connections could be less. So that is a typical good choice, 5000 voice channel. So the technology used in this application competes with the microwave facility because for the same purpose we can make use of microwave also. So definitely there will be competition from microwave for optical fiber in this direction. Another one, as we already seen, like for connecting that private branch exchange, we can make use of optical fiber. Similarly, for connecting the individual devices to the major exchange, we can make use of them. So that is what we call a subscriber loop circuit. They are the fibers that run directly from the central exchange to the subscriber, that's a specific client. These facilities are beginning to displace twisted pair and coaxial cable links as the telephone networks evolve to full service network capable of handling not only voice and data but also image and audio. So that is a scenario right now we are in, like we have that MMX message facility, etc. So the communication should support in addition to normal voice and data. So right now it has to support image and video, and the best choice for making all these things possible is optical fiber. Okay, so previously it was done by twisted pair and subscriber loop circuit. Typically they are made of twisted pair and coaxial cable. Right now they are changed to optical fiber to make the communication extended in such a way that in addition to voice and data we should be able to support the image and video. So the initial penetration of optical fiber in this application is for the business subscriber, but right now means most of you are also using the same in your home, that fiber optic BSNL connection like that we are getting. But fiber transmission into the home will soon begin to appear. That is from the time that book was written, but right now it was there. So local area networks, a final important application of fiber optic is of course a local area network that I already told you, like in local area, like they can twisted pair. In all combinations, this particularly that Ethernet specific local area network Ethernet that is working. Fiber optic is also a good option. Definitely with the very high data rate, very fast connectivity you will be getting. So it standards have been developed and products introduced for optical fiber networks that have a total capacity of say 100 megabits per to 10 gigabits per second, 10 gigabit Ethernet, and can support hundreds or even thousands of stations in a large office building or a complex of buildings. Okay. So the advantage of, but right now everything means this parameters, everything improved a lot. This is everything I taken from that textbook, and that is written some years back. So it is not found to be updated with the present scenario. So whatever the information here, so you have to exaggerate it. So that is our current situation. The advantage of optical fiber over twisted pair and coaxial cable become more compelling as demand for all types of information increases. Like I already told you, the voice, data, image and video, everything we have to communicate just like our normal voice in such a faster way, and that is a situation where optical fiber is taking its role. Okay, with this I am winding up this part 1, but we will continue discussion on optical fiber. Particularly we have to cover the technology aspect, like what is the total internal reflection, how it is happening, some minimum understanding what I have I will share with you, include that refractive index, those things, and accordingly some classification and features. So with that we will wind up discussion on fiber optic. Okay, for the time being, thank you.